with the chain, you could really use these for close quarters combat. Bad guy would attack, you make the same block, and if you couldn't wrap it around their wrist, you would ramp this. Follow the arm. You don't need to see, you just need to be able to know where they're at. And now you've got contact, so this comes up. And if they're big and strong and you can't just catapult them over backwards, don't fight with them. Fighting is bad.
Why are you giving him more ideas?
You still have your camera ready?
Oh my God.
This is a picture from our honeymoon.
Oh, so that.
Back to the knife fighting thing where you duck your chin. If she does that, so I can't get under to the throat, you go here and this ramps up and they duck their chin. What you're doing is you're smashing the chain into their mouth and you're smashing that through the lips and the teeth into wrapping it around the... I love this part. I actually saw this movie. Wrong turn, except it was barbed wire. So now you're going to catapult somebody backwards by having a chain through their... Or higher, if you miss that and hit here. You know that nerve cluster right at the butt that you do it with bad kids that put their head and they won't come up. You put your finger there and imagine doing that with a chain. And I know, life or death situation, that nerve cluster is not as important. So you're going to just keep going because the end of the nose is cartilage. And so it doesn't work very well for leverage and purchase. So when you're doing this in a life or death and you're raking this up, you're going to take the end of the nose off because it's just in the way. And you're going to scrape that across the top of the nose until it lodges. The chain's going to stop where the eyebrow ridge is, and you're going to go right here. So now I'm going to catapult her over backwards by a chain wrapped her across her eyes. I love this weapon. This is ridiculous.
No more fun for you.
It was not used the way they do it in the ninja movies where they hold the end and they're going, wow. You know why? Because life or death, she's got a knife and trying to kill me, and I'm going to go, zing! Even if I hit her, that is not going to discourage her in a life or death situation. And now I'm back to trying to haul this back and go, what do I do now? And I love the fight scenes Jackie Chan does in his movies where he's doing the different thing. But the self-defense instructor inside of me is going, no! Not only are you dead, you just wrapped yourself up in the chain. It's like gift wrapping. But it was used this way. Bring it forwards and out. And I feel like I'm still 11 and my mom is coming by and taking all of my toys away one at a time. This is why I read a lot of books as a kid. It was the only thing my mom didn't take away.
If only she knew.
We have one more weapon to talk about quick. Did you have a question again? I'm sorry. I didn't want to ignore you. I just wanted to get through the part where I got to hit her with the chain.
Well, you said that you had essentially made yourself some brass knuckles after wrapping it around.
Yes.
But you had also said that you measure it to the width of your waist, one thing to hide it. Wouldn't that kind of limit your reach in most things?
It would limit your reach, but not as much as you think. Because if you're training kickboxing, and strangely enough, I teach Muay Thai kickboxing from Thailand, your hand guard is right here. Hands are up. Basically, you make a triangle that you can see your opponent through, and then close your hands. That's where your hands should be. If you see this, these are people who get punched in the face a lot, or have rules where you can't punch somebody in the face. You fight this way. And if you have this chain, normally when you throw a jab, that means your front hand extends out and the rear hand turns so that these knuckles rest on your cheek, protects you from counterpunch. So you go here, and I'm going to extend a little bit farther than that on my punch, but that's almost full extension. The only difference is I would take that off of my thumb. It would come to right about here. So yes, you're going to lose a little bit of reach because ultimately I want to hit her like this. I'm going to lose a little bit of reach and have to move here, but that's why this is a close and medium range combat weapon and not long range, because I can still get full leverage for punching, throwing a hook, and that's with having that looped. And the advantage to hitting somebody with the chain across your knuckles is I don't need as much power as I do if I'm hitting her like this. Because this hurts more. Why with the spoon? Because it hurts more. But the ninja, we're famous for one more weapon. It's the ninja weapon of death. The shuriken. The throwing star. The other term in Japanese is shaken. It means small blade. And it referred to any bladed weapon, obviously enough. Came in different shapes and sizes. These are throwing spikes. If you're familiar with Japanese fashion, if you wore the kimono, kimonos tend to have long, billowy sleeves this way, and you could actually walk around like Russian winter style without that big fur hat thing you put your hands in. You would walk this way in public because you kept your hands out of the way. Remember, Japan, small, itty-bitty living space, lots of people. So you didn't make big arm movements when you talked. I have Japanese guests that laugh at me all the time because I'm used to being on stage and I'm 6'7". I talk like this. And whenever we're in like the green room and I'm going, so how you got, they're all just, because they make small arm movements so they don't get in each other's way. But you would have a strap around your arm, these little throwing spikes. And so if somebody came up to attack you, you could draw the spike out and throw it. And these were not thrown like darts on a dartboard at a nightclub because they didn't penetrate very well. The way it worked, took the pointy end down, put it in the palm of your hand like this, and put your thumb over the bottom. Usually you threw these underhand. Draw it out, small step forwards, and this way. If you were throwing them outside of about 5 feet, you turn your hand just a little bit because that would help give it a little bit of spin that should help keep it going straighter. Now honestly, these weren't effective much outside 15 feet, about 5 yards, and it was really more of a distraction. It's like I have this, I have a sword on my belt that I need to get to, but you'll close 15 feet in less time than I can draw it. So when you come running at me, I'm going to go, no! Because throwing a 5-inch spike at somebody's midsection will distract them. And while she's going, ah, I'm going to draw my sword, step in from the side and go, shoot, off with her head. I win. And then I'm going to put this away and deny I ever used it. Because really, who's going to know? But they had throwing spikes. The ones that everybody knows about, more familiar with, are these. These are the throwing stars that 150 yards away, you're watching Sho Kosugi in 8 Million Ways to Die or any other 80s ninja movie where they're going zing and it goes out and it cuts 6 people's throats, comes back and you catch it. Oh wait, that was Blade, wasn't it? That was, it's a little bit different weapon, but that's mostly a myth. Again, these weren't